To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Jay here, positivesarcasm.com, recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast for entertainment purposes only. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, nobody's sending me their concern. I'm concerned. I'm going to email this low-level podcaster. No, but if you are going to email me, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. You can hit me up on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. Or you can just hit me up on my website, positivesarcasm.com. Hit the contact section. So there you go. Kind of a explosion. Kind of an interesting weekend. I'm just sitting here wondering if the whole world's gonna blow up, or is this just one of those things? Like, I don't know. Is it my Instagram? Is it my social media feed? What are you seeing? What are you seeing that I'm not seeing? So I'll tell you. Just take it for what it is. What do I see in like my feeds every day? First of all, obviously you guys know I'm doing a lot of investing. The reason I'm being what do you see on your social media feeds? Like I see like old Camaros, people driving crashing Nissan Altimas because apparently that's what they do. Obviously, a lot of explosions over in the Middle East. It's common practice over there, apparently. I don't want your opinions on that. I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing. And the price of everything going up. So that's what I'm seeing. I did see some shooting, apparently, in a church, but apparently the only person that died was the attempted murder. So I'm fine with that. But what are you seeing? That I see sometimes like dogs, or I see like good food. Now people say like that's generated because you want to look at it. It's like, well, I never liked any of it. I get it. It's in my feed. I never liked any of it. Why am I seeing it? Please explain to me. Why am I seeing? Be honest with you. And some of this shit is downright racist. It's racist or it's sexist. It's just not. Like I don't get it, but it's there. It feels like the feed, at least for the most part, has gone off the rails, and it's just the most ridiculous stuff. But I thought you were supposed to, on social media stuff, I thought you were supposed to like something in order to see more of it. Or is it, at this point, it's just whatever keeps you scrolling? I think it's come to that point. Like, don't get me wrong. A Nissan Altima is a piece of shit car, but I don't want to keep seeing it. Or is the internet out of ideas? Am I out of ideas? Also, am I out of ideas, new things to look for? Traveling sounds like a good idea. Spending time by the ocean, even though I live here, that sounds like a good idea. But I'm curious. I'm glad that I'm able to realize this so that I can focus on more things because, well, let me put it to you this way. I know that I don't look at myself as, like, when I wake up in the morning, I'd rather not be scrolling on Instagram. I'd rather not be looking on Facebook. I'd rather not be wasting any time. So when I wake up, the first thing I do obviously is make coffee. Doesn't matter the day. I'm programmed for that. I'm programmed to provide. Doesn't matter. If the water's empty, in the kettle, I fill it. If we're out of ground beans, I grind them right there. I don't say anything. I just do it. I'm programmed to provide. I always feel I'm that person. Nobody else is going to get it done other than me. Nobody else. So, I start off with that. Obviously, Chase has to be fed because he doesn't have opposable thumbs. He can't reach into the fridge. So, it's been about a year he's been off of dry food. He hasn't had a single piece of dry food in a year. Like I reduced it down to like little snacks or something, and now he hasn't had it. He has fruit, vegetables, and eggs. And he eats well, and he's lean, and he's healthy, and he's running around like a madman. He's in good shape. Yeah, but after that's done, I go make coffee. I sit down. I log into some of my stock apps. I do some of the needed things in there, and then I'm done. I can move on with my day. I'll look around for ideas, normally for like the podcast. I think at this point, I'm searching for ideas in the wrong places. But here's the thing. Where do you get your news? And should you get your news? That's another thing. Like, I'm looking for news. I'm looking for things, obviously, that interest me, that I just want to talk about or read about or look into. But I have so many different things that like make me curious. So, but I can only spend so much time looking. I can only spend so much time looking because, well, I'm not 25. I'm in my 40s. And I think to myself, it's more of like an urgency thing. Like, people in their 20s, they do take for granted the fact that life is short. They do. They really do. I'm dead serious. That money is finite, even though the government prints billions of dollars a year, sometimes trillions. They take for granted that. Whereas I know, but unfortunately, it takes like for a lot of people, for like 95% of people, they take for granted that 15 years of realizing like, it's fine, I'll do it later, or oh, my car's got this weird wobble in the car, or gee, I should really pay down my credit card debt, or I should probably go to the gym, probably shouldn't eat this can. I don't know. But it takes like 10, 15 years for them to realize it, and then by the time that, they realize it, it's too late. It's like, oh, I just gave up on my dreams. I was good at soccer, but I'm realizing that now, and I'm fighting urgently to do something about it. But I feel like I'm speeding up. Like I'm drinking coffee, but I'm thinking to myself as I'm drinking this coffee, I have 25 minutes to drink this coffee. I have 25 minutes to drink this coffee, and I need to do something after that. There's a little point in time where I'm starting to, like maybe if I'm doom scrolling or sitting there or watching something or just hanging out, and then all of a sudden my brain turns on. It's like, let's go, you're dying. I'm not dying. I don't have cancer. I don't have lymphoma. I don't have anything that's going to kill me. But then my brain turns on and goes, let's go, you're dying. Here's a list of 6 things that you have to get done. You got to get this bracelet thingy. You got to get that car cable amp and look at your car because it's doing this one thing. I got to get off-white pants. Why? Because I got to do the car wash thing. I got to do audio work for my clients. And then I got to do this bullshit for a half hour, 45 minutes. And then I got to, do domestic stuff like mow the lawn, clean the house up. And then underneath it, it's like, what's the next famine? Oh, I got to talk about the next famine. But it's like, hurry up. And it's like, And people around me, it's like, where are you going? It's like, I got shit to do. I can't explain. Like, I'm in I got this, according to, I was told I have rage energy. Well, doesn't rage require energy? What else are you going to do with it? So I'm trying, okay. The reason I had rage energy is I just want to get shit done. Because I feel like people, according to my eyes, what I'm seeing, people are only getting crazier and crazier. Like, when I mentioned Nissan Altimas, I walk into, there's a specific grocery store up here where it feels like everybody's driving Nissan Altimas. And they're all just crashing into each other. It's bonkers. Where I'm in there and I'm at war. I want to win. I want to take all the stuff that I need and get out. And I want to be able, let's see, it's like I want to set a speed record for how quickly I can come into society and then leave society. Now considering where I live, I want to flee society as quickly as possible. I want to get in there and then disappear. I just want to drop a smoke bomb and Batman out of here. Because I got shit to do because I'm apparently dying. I'm old. I'm grandpa. So I'm speeding up through these things, and when I'm inconvenienced by the fact that I can't find something or something's not available, and I'm on the clock, it's like, okay, we gotta get stuff done. I'm getting flustered. But I'm not getting flustered to the point where I'm crashing into people or, speeding uncontrollably. But there's so many things in my head. It's like, if I don't do this now, something's going to go wrong. If I don't get this done early enough, something's going to go wrong. And the you're gonna be late thing, that's dread in my mind. The famine mentality, that is drilled in my mind. Like, if I don't get to the grocery store fast enough, all the good food is gonna be gone, and I'm gonna be left with the shit. Now, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of food at the grocery store, but I remember during the pandemic, it was gone. All the meat was gone. Toilet paper was gone. Had a bidet. But still, I went into a grocery store and everything was missing. Like, the shelves were empty. Like, there was a couple packages of meat, but that was it. And it's like, oh, that happened so fast. That happened so quickly. It was just one thing. It was just gone. And I didn't see, because I wasn't in an environment. Granted, Manchester was borderline, but I wasn't shopping at the same places that other people were. I remember seeing lines. At some of the grocery stores where there were, just people lined up one another, waiting to get in, because I guess they were only allowing so many people to go into the grocery store. And obviously, depending upon the section of town, certain groups, minority groups or whatever, I don't know. It's just what I see. It's what I saw. And over there were a lot of, because it was closer, the inner city people would go there. And they're just stuffed to the gills. I don't know what information they're being told, though. They're just reacting based on their culture and their mindset and the information that they're being told how to react, what they need to go do, and whatever their budget fits in. I don't know. I could go into the grocery store, and people back then were pretty calm where I went, but there was nothing there to buy, really. The shelves were empty. And I think it's just because people went in there and just bought everything because they didn't know what was happening. So that famine mentality, for me, I've seen it to some degree. I was, jokes aside, I was not there for the Great Depression. I never experienced it. The Great Depression, if you don't know, was in the 1930s. My great family obviously did experience that. Actually, no, not my great. No, it was my great-grandfather. My grandfather did. My late grandfather. They experienced it. They were in it. In New York? Yeah, they knew. But they were prepared for it. They understood it. They were built for that. They knew how to harvest and hunt and gather and do all that stuff. So for them, it was just another day in the yard. But I see the minor frustration, because it's compounding the minor frustrations of, if I've seen gas stations without gas. That's a minor inconvenience because people can always go across the street because there's another gas station and they could just go there. Whereas in the 1970s, you had the oil embargo. People were odds and evens. You could not go on a Tuesday to go get gas because it wasn't your day. Odds and evens. You're not allowed to go get gas today. Credit cards were not as big of a thing back then. So if you didn't have money and you didn't have, you don't have money, go get, but granted, things were like different back then, but what's that struggle? I admit wholeheartedly that I don't know that struggle, but I see the potential of what it could look like. Well, can I prepare for it? No, I can't. I can't. Let's just say, for example, the power goes out, credit cards go down, and there's no gas at the gas stations. Like, let's just say the grid for the most part's gone down, and it's gonna stay down what do you do? In that case where there's going to be famine. I mean, if you can't get gas, you stay home. If you have food at home, then you stay home. But then it's like, okay, what's the compounding factor here? If you don't have enough gas and you can't pay for groceries. If you can't pay for gas, you can't pay for groceries. When does the fight or flight mentality take hold? And when you're saying, I need to eat or I need to provide. And it's not going to be you doing it. It's going to be everybody else freaking out. And this is no opinion on what's taking place currently in the Middle East with Israel and Gaza and Iran or Iran. I'm sorry, I don't know how to properly say it. I think it's Iran. And then, of course, you have Ukraine and Russia still having at it. And then you have China and Taiwan. It's like the recipe is there for disaster. But it's like, okay, if obviously, so as far as famine goes, well, the gas prices have already gone up because of tensions in the Middle East significantly. Like we're talking like 25 cents a gallon, 25, 50 cents a gallon. That adds up, absolutely. I'm just saying it is that being honest, because there's people out here who are not as fortunate as I am in many cases, and I'm not as fortunate as others. There are people out there with escape velocity. I don't. But it's like when all this stuff goes, like when some of this stuff goes away, like if gas and all that stuff runs, it's okay. If you have a half a tank, if you have 200 miles, a half tank of gas is in my SUV, that's like 200 miles. Where do I go with that? Do I stay here and do I hope for things to get restored? Or do I go somewhere that can provide community so that we can collectively get out of this? That's the thing. Where do you go? I mean, obviously, if you go somewhere, say like you get invited to somebody's place and the shit goes down and it's going to be like a month or 2 months or 3 months. Okay, well, that's going to be crazy. But if you go there, you're now somebody else's problem. They now have to figure out, and you have to figure out communally how you guys are going to provide for one another. What do you bring to the table other than a burden? You're a burden at that point. If you're under somebody else's roof, you're a burden to them. So what would I do if I stayed here? You know, another example is if Taiwan were to be taken over, well, now we have to talk about semiconductors and chips. Like auto repairs on newer cars, nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Surveillance equipment, nightmare. Like that holds the world hostage. I think, to some degree. Or so people claim. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on this stuff. I only can go with the information I'm given as far as what I'm trying to learn. The education of apparently, like, you know, the world's chips, the good ones, the ones that are critical, that are high quality, they come from Taiwan. This is why I rely on older stuff. This is why I rely on the spare parts that I have so that I can do this. You know, much lower level tech or older tech that is not going to require really any heavy maintenance. And if it does go down, I have replacements for this stuff. Keeps my bottom line low. Keeps my costs down. Which is something that I preach an awful lot. I think obviously if the shit were to go down and I kind of had to, I may choose to actually stay put. Unless I was in danger here. Because my problem is I'm located between an Air Force base, a naval shipyard, and a nuclear power plant. If those are targets, it's like, Well, then I have to leave because now I'm in imminent danger of radiation. Because you're not just gonna hit a shipyard, an Air Force base, and a nuclear power plant with conventional weapons. No, you're gonna light them up. You're gonna make them disappear. And that would put me in an awkward, this is awkward, position of like, where do I go? And these are the things I think about. This is worse. Like, I am programmed to think of worst case scenario, but I'm also trying to program myself for best case scenario. Like, things are going to be okay, which I've preached. So I'm thinking if things were stable here to the effect that, because going to cities, no thanks. Large towns, no thanks. I would probably, I think to some degree, choose to stay here, I think. If you can't go anywhere, you're just going to be a burden. It's like, well, what do you do? Well, I can gather, at least. What could I gather? Well, first of all, I have enough area here to garden. I do have that. Do you? I have enough of a environment here to hunt, because that's going to be required of you in a situation where you can't pay for groceries and nobody's supplying them. Do you? Can you? Do you have a bow? Do you have a gun? Do you have ammunition? Can you support that lifestyle? What can you hunt? Where can you hunt? What's the cause and effect of you lurking around a neighborhood? You decide to cap a deer, and all of a sudden your neighbors are like, they're going to hear it. What's your plan? What's the rules of your community? So this is like, these are the things that are going off in my brain. What's the next famine? Is it oil? Is it food? I mean, obviously inflation is not a famine, but the ability not to afford things that's dangerous. Imagine a society where you can't afford to do anything. If you can't afford your rent, you can't afford your mortgage, or you can't afford your food. I mean, somebody else it's just going to sit there. Somebody else is going to take advantage of it. Why? Because that's survival of the fittest. I have to stay healthy. People rely on me that I'm healthy. I've made an effort to regionalize myself so that I can support the community around me to a certain degree, because you can't help everybody. You're going to let somebody down. So you have to create a limit. What can you provide to your greatest abilities, and stop right there? What do you have to do? What do you want to do? What you should do is out the window. You really should do this. You really should do that. No, I shouldn't. What do I have to do? For my car, I have to change the oil. I have to do maintenance on it. I have to fix things that's broken. I have to do that. What do I want to do? I want to spend time with people I care about. I want to enjoy cookouts in the backyard. I want to relax to the sunset. All right. If I want to do that and I have time to do that, and I got all the stuff that I have to do done, then I can consider that. But the next famine's going to wipe away. So my should is already down to almost nil. It's just what I want to do and what I have to do. And when the next famine happens, wanted is gone. And it's just, what do you have to do to survive? Because after a while, nobody's going to give a shit about semiconductors and chips. Because once it's gone, it's gone. And the people who know how to at least live without it, without doing, this, scrolling, oh, the internet's done. They're freaking out. It's like, okay, what do you do to entertain yourself? Do you have any books? Do you have a nice view? Do you have board games? Do you have cartridge? Do you even have electricity? Like, at least here, if I need to wash myself, I can go out in the ocean. There is an ocean there. so I can at least de-stinkify myself. There are, there's ways to garden around here. There's animals here, delicious animals, rabbit, deer, ground animals. A little farther away, there's some turkeys probably. So there's that. There's something, but it's like, what are you going to do through the first day? How are you going to get through the first day? The first day is going to be chaos. So just thinking to myself, like, I'm thinking it's like, this could all happen. This is all entirely possible. So hurry up. Get stuff done. You're dying. So it's two opposite ends of the spectrum in my head. It's like the extremes of like, you need to hurry up, get shit done. People rely on you. You got to do this. It's important. Don't waste your time running around at Kohl's looking for a thing that doesn't exist. And it frustrates me greatly. Because I have to do this stuff in order to get home to do the things I want to do. In the meantime, I'm surrounded by boomers who just kind of, do circles around their yard that they probably own and are, it's crazy. But I'm in this community of, I have to protect this community now. I don't have to. I don't have to do anything. I'm just an idiot with a podcast. But I mean, what happens if a scenario where the next famine arises? Because the next famine, even if it's not that bad, even if it's not a food famine, what if it's just an internet outage? What if it's just that? I think the mildest inconvenience can be seen as a famine now at this point. Because I think people have invested so much in higher tech, being constantly connected, that the older tech will be in huge demand. Things that just work. If it works, we'll take it. We'll pay a premium for it. Well, how are you going to pay a premium for it? Because the internet's down. You can't Venmo me. So what are you going to do for this? How are you going to pay me for that? Are you going to barter? Do you have cows? If I'm staying put and I'm not going anywhere, then I don't need two cars. I hunker down in the wintertime. I'll see you in the spring. Fine, I'll sell you my SUV because you've got a venture north. Okay, well, it's this much. What do you want to do? You want to sell me 2 cows? Do you have 2 cows? Can you get 2 cows? I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand where we're going. I anticipate that there's going to be more fear, that cities are going to get more ridiculous, that people are going to become more impatient, more impulsive, more violent. I don't know how we reverse course from that. I only know that in some cases where people have a community, where they're ingrained in their community, that people are friendlier. It's safer there. Some people were very charitable during the pandemic, where people were just nice. But it was, I think for the first 2 weeks, people were like, all right, we'll give it a couple weeks, and then we'll lose our shit. Stay inside. Be respectful. Let's flatten the curve. It's okay. We'll reach out to you, via Facebook Messenger. That only lasted for so long. So you have that window of opportunity to brace yourselves for the tidal wave that's going to come. It's like if you see like a tsunami, like all of a sudden, like the shoreline just kind of goes out, and then the tsunami hits. So I'm wondering what that is. If you see the shoreline disappear, are you prepared? I remember that. I remember that very well. Was it bad from my end? Not really. Like, I had plenty. I did manage to have plenty of food. I knew where to get food. I tried shopping at a couple like fresh markets too, because I was tired of walking into the grocery stores. And then I decided for a simpler life, I wanted to come down here. I mean, I still feel like I just left a halfway house for the last 3 years. So I'm still breathing in what it's like to live down here and the momentum it requires to stay down here and the amount of effort I need to put in a short period of time in order to stay down here. So my famine is location-based. I could always move to somewhere else. I could, absolutely. I just don't want to. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm done with that. Like, I don't want to go really anywhere else. This is my environment. It was like in that movie Fight Club. It's like when you have too many possessions, when you own too many possessions, your possessions end up owning you. I do. I have a lot of cool possessions. I could ditch most of it in a moment's notice. It would just suck to do so. It might be freeing, though. I'm just wondering what the rest of the world is thinking in terms of what's going on. Like, first of all, the rest of the world does impact us at this point because of the amount of goods and services that come in that are imported. So I'm thinking to myself, how can I simplify things even more than I already have? And I'm not sure what to do next. Like, I have to gamble like the world is going to figure itself out. But there are people out there planning for everything to just completely fall apart. Completely fall apart. They're not investing in stocks or real estate or bonds or money market accounts or vehicles or watches. They're not investing in that. They're investing in canned goods, ammunition, things that blow up, fire, bunkers. That's what they're investing in. And that is unfortunately, a sad investment and a one-shot execution. Talk about timing the market. If you were to cash in on that, that's a one-time scenario you get to cash in on. I don't want, I have a little bit to get me through the day or a couple days or maybe the week. But the power could go out, the internet could go out, which means the information dies. I have some ways of getting information, but not much. I mean, at that point, it's like, how critically useful are you? You're going to have some value in the community in order to stay as a part of it. Because it's going to shrink really fast. Like, those who aren't a part of the community are not going to be able to survive in that community. They're going to get kicked out or killed, or they're going to flee or something. Or they're going to try to take what you have. And obviously that's going to lead to somebody's death. So my concern is, how valuable am I to the human race right now? How valuable am I to the human race? Or not to the human race, the community I'm around. If the lights were to go out. I always think, I do think about that. There are people that are in customer service roles, or they work at McDonald's, or they sell fucking Jeeps. And what's their value if general artificial intelligence or AI algorithms basically make your position useless? Where do you go? Because you're going to fill somebody else's position based if you have those qualifications. Can you hunt? Can you cook? Do you know critical infrastructure? You know, do you know how to, I don't know, make clothes? Do you know how to gather or garden? How quickly can you learn to do these things? So that's why community is important to me, being in a quiet area that I can at least sit and think about these things sometimes and make these little lists, because I was not able to do that where I was. Like if the prices of things go through the roof, can I sustain myself more than others? I think I can. Can I protect myself more than others? I think I can. And I do have a consumer mentality on the items of, I really want to buy. I want to buy. Like, I was looking at cars the other day. Do I really need to look at cars? Not really. I'm thinking of already replacing my SUV. I've only had it since August of last year. I'm thinking of replacing it already. I own it. Could I sell it next year for, and make money? Yeah, absolutely I could. Should I wait? Yeah, absolutely I should. So I'm trying to think, like, is that a good idea? Is it really necessary? I don't think it is. It's like I'm looking at something I need to, like, that same thing that tells me in the morning, hurry up, you're dying. That thing also needs to trigger me to the point where if I'm doing something that maybe I shouldn't be doing, like looking up cars, or maybe I should go grocery shop, or maybe I should go buy that thing in the center aisle. It's like, you don't need that. That money needs to be for something else, because prices are going to go through the roof soon, supposedly, according to some people, and you need to be able to have escape velocity. I don't know. I'm not educated enough to know what any of that means. But honestly, I think people who are educated aren't educated enough or smart enough to even understand what that means either. There's already been, people are saying, like, experts are saying that in the next couple of years, prices are going to go through the roof on things, whether it be real estate or food or energy. They already have. It's been 5 years since 2020. 5 years. Okay. Gas in my area is up since 2020. It's already up $1 a gallon more than it was. To put that in context, that is 30 to 35% more. Housing prices are up 50%. No. I think more than that. So a perfect example is houses that were probably $350,000, $400,000 back in 2020. They're now like between 7 and 1.1 million. So that's not 50%, that's 100%. So gas has gone up 30 to 35% here in 5 years. Housing prices have doubled 100%. Food costs, absolutely. There is significant increases to some degree, depending upon what you're buying. I'd say, 20, 25, 30, 40. I mean, it's not, the damage is already there. Like these PCE, this core inflation stuff, those prices they're not realistic. They're not. Over 5 years, over 1 year, not realistic, but over 5 years, we're talking 50, 100, 200% increases on prices of things. And real life necessary things. Lodging, food, necessary services, critical infrastructure, transportation. It's all there. It's all there. It's insane. So now if people stop now, back in like 2008, gas got to like $4 a gallon at some point. No, not 2008. I'm sorry. 2005, 2006. Gas got up to like $4 a gallon in some places. People just stopped driving. They just said, fuck it. And then eventually the prices came down. Because of that, they went down to like $2.40 a gallon, $2 a gallon. But that was supply and demand. I think that's gone now. Now it's just like a stagflation. Where basically, now even if you don't buy it, prices will still stay high. Because in order to produce that thing, it's going to cost that much just to produce it. So only select people are going to buy it. So basically, they just may not make as much, which means the price is going to go up. They have to. That's the thing. Or it's either going to cost too much for you to even buy it, or it's just not going to be available because people aren't buying it. If a bar can't serve drinks because nobody can afford to buy them, the bar goes out of business, and the next bar takes over. Grocery stores. If there's not enough food to fill the grocery store closes. If there's not enough gasoline to fill up the gas station closes. Are we approaching that point? I mean, there's gas stations everywhere. There's charging points everywhere. There's grocery stores everywhere. There's clothing stores everywhere. There's car places everywhere. You could buy everything that you wanted in one day. You could buy it. I mean, honestly, you could. There's houses. You can make an offer on a house, buy a car, get a full tank of gas, get a house full of groceries, and a dog, and an engagement ring. You could do it all in one day. Honestly, you could do all that. You can accomplish the first steps of this all in one day. So, where's the famine yet? Because I don't see it. Is it just because I'm too old-fashioned? Am I just Mr. Churns butter over here? Now, truth be told, I don't churn butter. I think it would take too long for me to do it. But am I just holding on? Am I heading towards a cliff? Am I the one that's heading towards a cliff? Or is everybody else heading towards a cliff? Or are we all heading towards a cliff? I'm going to just try to process, like, after seeing explosions at nuclear sites in Iran, and then seeing missiles hit Kiev, and seeing the threats in Taiwan, and just people I respect on the internet arguing with each other or talking with each other, having different viewpoints. It's like, who's right? What does this lead to ultimately? Where are we going? Is this just, are we heading towards a balance again, though? Are we now heading back towards some type of balance? I don't know. All I know is enough damage has already been done where prices I don't think will ever come down. Prices never do. I mean, from what I've seen. Because the minute prices take a hard dip now, the harder the prices take a dip, the more that the large corporations buy in and scoop everything up. Eventually, it's like the selection of things. There's a famine there where there's not enough stuff to buy up at a discount, so they just buy it anyways because it's all that's left of the area. And that leaves nothing for the commoner. So what does the commoner do? Where does the commoner go? There's 400 million people in the United States. Where do they go? Where do they live? How do they eat? Where do they eat? Where do they work? How do we supplement them being able to do just to live? I sat down here and it's like, I can't ignore, I try to at least preach that you have to go through your day as if tomorrow's going to happen. Tomorrow's going to be okay to some degree. Like, you're still going to have to go to your job. You're still going to have to go get groceries, pay your bills, things like that. But there is that thought in my mind where maybe somebody here or somebody there just says, fuck it, launch, and then that's it. Or something here or there, and it's like, okay, now we're in this scenario. Now they're making that announcement. We interrupt this program to bring you a special report here from the White House or something like that. And now we're here. Is the next podcast the last podcast? Is my next meal the last meal? How much do I consolidate and frugalize myself to the point where I'm not enjoying life? Because I do enjoy my life very much. But I get that feeling in the morning. It's like, hurry up, you're dying. Because I look at all the mistakes I've made in my 20s and in my 30s. But if I didn't make those mistakes, I wouldn't be here. If I went back and changed any of those things, I would go back and make a change here, but that would cause something else. I'd see something else and try to change that too. That would screw something up. It'd have to. But I can't go back and change things. I'm here. And I like being here. I'm fortunate to be here. You know? But there will be a tomorrow, I think, for a lot of people. So what's my next step? What's your next step? Where's the next famine going to come from? Can you invest in it? Can you prepare for it? You know, I'm just pondering the most ridiculous stuff because people are wondering it. People go online and they're arguing about it. We'll just get off the internet. Easier said than done. Everybody's on the internet. Every person is on the internet, except for the Amish. What's the next thing? I don't know, man. It's weird. Not sure. Not sure what to think. What fascinates me? What do I want to explore? What's my next move? Ultimately, it's because I'm older and I think I'm dying every morning at 5 o'clock, that I instantly have to check and make sure that my nest egg is getting secured, and that I gotta double it. By next year, I gotta double it. I gotta triple it. I gotta get in now while supplies last. Bitcoin's gonna go to the moon. You know, gas is gonna be $9 a gallon or no gas, and I'm gonna have to give up my Mustang. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. I just, instead of like diving into the situation in the Middle East, which I can't guide you on it. I can't guide you on it. I can say things about it, but at the end of the day, it's like, what happens here? Not what happens there, because I can't do anything about that. I can't control that. My comments, my opinions on that, I can't do anything about. But can I prepare for the next little inconvenience that can take me out of the goals that I'm trying to reach now that I'm in this age gap, that I'm here? I'm trying to secure our future in a shorter period of time. So this is where I am mentally. But I think since I'm here, I have a chance. I'm not living in fantasy land. I think I have an opportunity here to really make a difference and be a part of the community and be an example. Not by telling you what to do, but by doing it. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just pondering that in my head because I can't do anything about what's going on over there. So can I prepare myself for anything that's about to happen over here? So I have to look at that every single day. Incrementally. Dollar by dollar, minute by minute, thought by thought, action by action. What can I do at this very moment to better my situation? Maybe next week we'll talk about something a little lighter or something a little more concrete. This is a little more fluid, a little more like, wait, what am I doing here? What's my next move? What happens if, and what happens then, and what do I do now, and where do I go, or do I go anywhere, and do I just stay here? How much value do I have here? Can I support the people around me if I stay here, or if we go there? I don't know. What should I do? What do I want to do? What do I have to do? I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. You can find me on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. You can hit me up through my website, positivesarcasm.com. You can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. If you get anything of this podcast, just know I'm trying to think really hard how to be productive and how to be useful and how to, I don't know, move the conversation forward in terms of how do we just focus on things here in the now. Because something's got to give, and I'm not sure what it is. Or maybe we're heading into the upswing. Maybe we're heading into the upswing and things are going to be awesome. That's also a possibility. Famine and depression. No reason to be sad anymore because things are looking up. You can find me on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. You can subscribe to this podcast by going to YouTube, Rumble for the video version, or you can just hit up the audio version of the podcast anywhere where podcasts are available. YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Apple Podcast. So go ahead, do that. Here we go. Nice little 40 minutes of 45, 50 minutes of just fluid consciousness. What happens next? I don't know. Tune in next week. Anyways. Thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing, and we'll check on you next week. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studios alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast for entertainment purposes only. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.